I'm gonna take a second to go ahead and talk about something that just happened to me because literally I fucking cannot. Let me put my shades on to try to hide the disdain. I went out on a casual little get to meet and greet with this dude who we have both canceled on each other multiple times. We go to a local little bar thing and, he orders 2 drinks, I order 1. He's like, let's go eat. I'm like, sounds great. Cool, we'll go eat. I asked for the checks and he's like, yeah, the checks. And I'm like, okay.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Duke Reacts, part of the Duke and Don channel. And today we got a special episode for you because we have been scouring the internet and we have found ourselves a couple gems that we're going to be reacting to, okay? And guys, some of these gems are going to bring up a very important question, all right? And this is an important question that, we've been asking ourselves, men and women, in terms of the dating market, right? Since the inception of feminism, all right? Who should pay who on the first date, okay? If a guy asks a girl out, is the woman entitled to the guy paying for the entire date? Or is 50-50 no longer acceptable? Let's go ahead and have this conversation. And the video we're going to be reacting to, all right, a lady, okay, goes ahead and goes on social media to go ahead and express just how terrible her date went for her. But before we go ahead and get into any of this, all right, any of this fun stuff, I would like to shout out to the new subscribers out there. Real talk, thank you guys. I see some of you guys in the chat. I see some of you guys out there. I appreciate you. Welcome to the family. And for those of you guys who are already here, thank you. We appreciate the support. Go ahead and hit that like button so more people see this video. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell because we're going to have some banger content coming out this week that you're not going to miss, okay? And we're going to have a special announcement at the end of this video that you definitely want to go ahead and catch, all right? And now, before we go ahead and get started, shout out to Poppy Blanco and Wear the Crown for sponsoring this here video, all right? Because some of the content we're about to see, all right, it was brought to you by them. And that brings another point, guys. If you want videos or you have videos that you've seen online that you want us and you want our opinion to react to, go ahead and send it to us. All you got to do is follow us on Instagram. The link is right down below, okay? Follow us on Instagram. Send us a message about the video you want us to react to, and I guarantee you we're going to get it done, all right? Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and start with this video, all right? This lady is wilding out about the bad date that she had on a dating app, okay? And we're gonna go through this and break this down. Does she have an actual point? Let's find out.
I'm gonna take a second to go ahead and talk about something that just happened to me because literally I fucking cannot. Let me put my shades on to try to hide the disdain. I went out on a casual little get to meet and greet with this dude who we have both canceled on each other multiple times. We go to a local little bar thing and, he orders 2 drinks, I order 1. He's like, let's go eat. I'm like, sounds great. Cool, we'll go eat. I asked for the checks and he's like, yeah, the checks. And I'm like, okay. He proceeds to pay with his bill in cash and I pay mine, with my card. We walk out and this man, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna go. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, no, not for me. The fuck I look like? You got me fucked up. This man then proceeds to call me on my way home as I'm complaining to my homegirl about what a fucking horrible idea this was. And he's like, what was it? And I was like, bro, it's the checks things. And he's like, well, I don't owe you anything. And this is not how I wanted to meet. Excuse me?
See, I always have a problem with chicks when they go around using the word bro. Bro this, bro dude, bro this. Do y'all not understand how y'all look? Real talk. Modern women, do you not understand how that sounds? The whole bro, the dog, the dude. You know how that sounds coming off your mouth? It sounds weird. It sounds like you just try to be out of place, like Donovan Sharpe. Shout out to you, by the way. I hope you're doing well, okay? But it seems like you guys, that shouldn't be a thing. The word bro and whatnot is just unfeminine, all right? I'm going to tell you this right now. All right, and this is what most guys are thinking when they hear that from a woman. It's not to symbolize that she's cool or she's one of the guys or anything like that. You're just freaking weird, all right? And any guy that tolerates that they're freaking weird. But no guy with self-respect, okay? Now pay attention to that word. With self-respect will allow a girl to walk around calling other dudes bros and dudes, or even calling him bros and dudes, because that's a sign of disrespect. Frankly, real talk, you come here, oh, bro, I'm not your brother. All right, I'm your man. I'm giving you pleasure at night, okay? I'm different than your brother, all right? So don't disrespect me with those terms of endearment, all right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and break this stuff down because It seems like with this lady, the entitlement with her is over 9,000, okay? Because this lady is definitely expecting a lot of things, all right, from a meet and greet or casual meet and greet, right, that she feels like she's entitled to, all right? First of all, let's go ahead and break down that point, okay? You and your guy, you guys have been going back and forth, and you finally land a date, and the way you're characterizing this, and this is your story, by the way, young chica, okay? Where you're characterizing this as a casual meet and greet, right? So if it's a meet and greet, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking this is just like a meetup. This is not a date or formal date where he's asking you out or back and forth or whatnot. No. This is a meet and greet. This is nothing serious. So you've already labeled it in your mind as nothing serious. And to further make an impact on that, you guys both flaked on each other twice. All right, so, and I'm sure it wasn't the guy that flaked on you. 100%, I would put 90, let's not go 100%, okay. I would say 90%, I put $100 on it, that you're the one who flaked first, causing him to flake second, all right? Because here's the thing, with young people like this, all right, when they go into a relationship, they listen to some of these dating coaches and relationship gurus out here, and they tell you to play this relationship game, right? Oh, if she flakes on you once, man, okay, well, you gotta flake on her to show your importance and whatnot. No, just don't deal with her. If she's coming in with low interest, why should it be on me to go ahead and raise her level of interest, all right, or go ahead and take ownership on paying for a majority of the date? Why would that ownership go to me? That doesn't make any sense, all right? If this is just a meet and greet, all right, and we mutually faked on each other and whatever it is, we both have the same level of interest. So I am not entitled to paying your full meal. And this is the problem with a lot of modern women, because a lot of modern women, y'all don't understand this. You want the traditional treatment, but you guys still want the modern lifestyle. That's not how world works, okay? If you want to be a modern woman, go ahead and be a modern woman. If you want to go ahead and play these games with guys and do all this stuff, you expect the stupid prize in return, meaning a guy's going to show you the same exact energy, and he's not going to put that level of investment with you, all right? If you want to be traditional, then be traditional. Be okay with even stepping up and adding to the plan. You know what I'm saying? Just be okay with being available and saying yes. And that's what a man is looking for. But if you're already doing this back and forth thing, bro, kind of nonsense you got going on, and you already checked the multiple red flag boxes probably in this young man's mind, where it's just like, all right, well, I guess you're giving me the vibe that this is just going to be a mutual thing. I guess we're just going to pay for it. And you don't have the right to do it. Listen, a lot of y'all out here walking around like you got your own bread, you got your own money, you got this, you got that, yet you get mad when the dude doesn't want to pay for your own bread. Then what's the point of going out and getting your own money? What is the point of going out and being Miss Independent? This is the thing that confuses a lot of dudes, all right? And y'all even confusing yourself. And this is why we ask, what the fuck do you bring to the table outside of what it is that makes you a man? A great value man, because some of y'all just discounts out here. That's what it is. Real talk. If you are going to accept the modern woman role, okay, you cannot also be upset about the modern woman outcomes that they get, all right? That means perpetually being single and having guys who don't want to go above and beyond to wife you or show you affection like you want to be showed, all right? So we got to start getting these things out of our head, because we are confusing a lot of young women out here and a lot of young men out here on how this stuff actually works. And here's the thing, I give props to the young man who ended up calling back to figure out what it was, because at least, you know, that tells me that he probably was sensing some vibes with this chick throughout the entire date, and she was probably like, you know, okay, it doesn't seem like this is going too well, and she probably gave him attitude probably towards the end of this whole thing, right? And then that's probably why he called to say, okay, what's going on? And that props to you, because a lot of the time, guys, if you can get positive not even positive feedback, but any kind of feedback from a woman that you're dating or whatever it is for a situation that didn't really work out or didn't materialize the way you want, it's okay to ask. I encourage women to do this too. Ask your ex-boyfriend. Go ahead and call him up. Call up your ex-boyfriend right now and ask him why he ghosted you. All right? Call your ex-husband. Call your past significant relationship. Call him up and ask him why did in your opinion, did you feel that this relationship didn't work out, okay? And then listen to the opinion. Don't get into your feelings. Don't get into all that. You're just gathering information to help you grow. And a lot of people don't do this. So they walk around here believing that they're God's gift to earth, not realizing that you're just walking, talking shit that all these flies are going to be attracted to. That's pretty much it. And then no word to why you're attracting all these flies, because you a walking hunk of shit, honey. I'm sorry. That's what it is. So you need to actually spend that time to develop yourself, to develop the skill sets on not only understanding what it is a man wants, but how to understand how to come together and bring those two things together and be an indispensable piece to his life. That's how it is, all right? And to get that benefit to the point where the man is actually going ahead and paying for your stuff and doing stuff, you got to be able to add value in return. Otherwise, you can't be mad when dudes are treating you like 50-50 out here, because that is the vibe that you're giving off, all right? And yes, men, you got to understand this right now. The vast majority of ladies out here talking about this 50-50 garbage and whatnot, they're not out here actually expecting that. They're just saying that because it's fun to say and it's cute or whatever, all right? But most of them, they actually expect you to pay 100%, all right? And here's the thing with you young ladies. If you actually walking around here with that set expectation, you got to be prepared to bring something to the table, all right? Listen, I go on dates all the time, and one thing I notice, a lot of women are ladies in the chat, I'm not saying you because you guys actually bring in some interesting conversations, but the vast majority of women I've dealt with are boring, okay? They have nothing going on for themselves. They like to talk a big game like they have a lot of shit going on, but usually it's just work, their pets, and social media. That's it, all right? That's been my experience, all right? I can only imagine how you were on a goddamn date, all right? You were probably not the greatest thing to talk to, okay? There's probably nothing else going on. So why should someone like me pay the full thing for a terrible experience? I have better conversations on this podcast, on the show, than I had with actually, I've had better conversations, deeper conversations with women on this show than most women out here that I've actually dated. And that's a crazy thing, because a lot of y'all, you don't make yourselves interesting. All you do is come with the box and think that your presence is good enough. Ladies, we're starting to head into a time where that ship is sailing, and it is gone. It is gone. It is gone beyond the horizon. You guys actually have to step your game up now, because we got a lot of these pills out here either teaching men to be more toxic, to deal with your dumbasses and your dumbass decisions, or they're teaching men to take their ball and walk away, not even deal with your ass anymore. That's why you see most of y'all like don't even get approached like the way you used to anymore. Guys aren't even looking your way no more, all right? Most of y'all right now aren't even finding, like this lady, guys even wanting to pay for your dates. Why? Because we're sick of the bullshit. And it may not just be this young lady, but the bullshit that many men have gone through, and many of them have done before they ran up to meet someone like this. They're not gonna do it anymore. It's over with. It's done. You got to start bringing something to the table, or it's over with. Ladies, we're getting to a critical point right now where men are okay with being alone. Women are okay with being alone, but not really, right? You guys like to say that. But here's the thing. Men, in a sense, men are okay doing it, and they can live alone. That's the problem. They're okay with living alone. Matter of fact, it's actually more peaceful when men do it by themselves. But the problem is, we're missing the fundamental need that women can offer to them. And a lot of women don't even understand what that need is that men want. So let me let y'all know this right now as a public service announcement, ladies, all right? You will keep walking around here, this Miss Independent stuff and whatnot. It's fine and dandy when you're young, but when you get older and you end up like some of these older ladies here that we're going to be talking about later, all right? And when you realize it's too late for you, that's when you're going to look back on that moment and realize how much you fucked up. That's pretty much what it is. We're going to move on from this video. I'm going to move on to the next one. All right, the next video... This one has been in high demand, all right? This one, you guys have been requesting it, so we are going to go ahead and cover this bad boy right here, all right? And this one was done by light-skinned Keisha, okay? Shout out to her. She's a musician. She does a lot of music, but she went on this podcast with these two other ladies, all right? And she's going to give them some tips and tricks to help them to basically not be single anymore. And this particular podcast and this particular show basically displayed why it is that a lot of modern women, and particularly a lot of modern black women are actually single, and they will continue to stay perpetually single. This is how they end up on shows like Kevin Samuels and whatnot, because they display patterns of behaviors like you guys are about to see. But shout out to light-skinned Keisha for putting in the work and actually telling these ladies what's up. Let's get into it.
Next week, so it's gonna be turned up.
You are?
You know I love me some Mr. Cabo, bitch.
Are y'all going somewhere, or are you just going to visit him?
I don't know. I just gotta see. We gotta figure out what type of time he on. You know, when the BDB jumps, you say how hard.
Right.
You know?
That's what you gotta do.
You know, so we have to
pay attention to that. The B2B, right, or B2B or whatever it is, the big dick baby daddy they're gonna be talking about. Pay attention to that, because that is the kind of toxic mentality and mindset in terms of men that these kind of girls are looking for. All right, and when you wonder why they get played, this is why.
BDB, a big dick baller. We gonna get into that later, because you low key got you one, girl. She got me
big dick baller.
the game, y'all. I'm ready to take notes.
Right.
Every day she posting some new shoes, some new jewelry, everything. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get into these topics. Okay. So you are a relationship, we are very much not. Right. So the first topic we wanted to talk about today is holding somebody down and fighting for your relationship versus leaving. Mm-hmm. Because I'ma leave. I can't. As soon as a nigga, like, I text a nigga, he don't text me back in 3 minutes, I'm like, you know what? I'm posting Instagram posts. You know what? I'm a real bitch. I'm texting another nigga.
Boom. Right off the bat, we're already starting off with an L, right? This woman is already displayed characteristics of a track star. And for those of y'all out here that don't know what a track star is a woman who can't handle it when a difficult point in the relationship comes into play, all right? And then they just dip when things get hard. They're gone. They'll ghost you. It's over with, right? And I've dealt with a lot of track stars in my day, all right? And I'm sure most of you guys out there have dealt with track stars. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there are ladies in the chat, or there are ladies who are watching right now who've been around women who are track stars, or who have been previous track stars themselves. But here's the thing: when we talk about, and I don't even fault this lady for what she's talking about here, because this is the mindset of the vast majority of modern women out here. Okay, they're thinking like track stars because they have this false sense of belief, partly thanks to social media, that they have a vast amount of options. That's reason number one. Reason number two why a lot of modern women are track stars is the fear of hurt. All right, the fear of being hurt. And that's what you guys got to understand. Well, let's say they run up to a difficult spot, right, in the relationship while they're dealing with you before they bolt, right? That's probably the same situation, or that same spot or similar spot that she's been through in the last previous relationship when she first got burned on it, right? And now the series of relationships she's had prior to this, she's basically been dipping before that shit even starts, because it's the fear of being hurt. And now what these ladies, they try to do, what they tend to do, and just pay attention, because a lot of modern women do this, right? They hide behind it as something of a symbol of strength. Meanwhile, it's them just being weak and avoiding confronting their demons, right? That's what this is. And you notice how she masks, I'm real, I'm this, I'm real. I'm going to get on social media and start texting the minute you fuck up, right? They're coming into the relationship with already a twisted mindset of how it's supposed to work. They're coming in with 1 foot already out the door. That's so wild. And then you guys want to wonder why you're single, okay? If you're at least going to think like men and go all in on work, go all in on your education and things like that, why is it so hard to go all in on a relationship and trust a man? Why is it so hard? And that includes getting therapy after you've dealt with somebody who's hurt you. So why is it so hard for majority of modern women out there to just simply say, okay, all right, I'm tainted right now. I'm toxic. I need help. I need to talk this through, because I don't know what else to do. A lot of women aren't doing that, and I never understood why. But keep that in mind. The vast majority of women who are walking around here acting like boss bitches and running when things get hard, they're not bosses. They're not confident. They're not anything. They're scared little girls who are just afraid of getting hurt, and that's why they run. So just keep that in mind. They self-sabotage.
I know. That's the problem.
The attention. See, that's why we need
that's
you.
That's why we talking to you, sis.
Okay, so what y'all want to know? So are you a hold him down? I'm not leaving. We gonna work things out.
Well, when you say hold him down, like, What do you mean? Because like what? Like hold down what?
Like hold down the relationship.
You mean
like
it's depending on what happened?
Yeah, like sometimes men mess up. Yeah. Sometimes, men aren't perfect. They might slide in somebody's DMs, or they might be out, get drunk, passed out, not answer your phone call. Like stuff like that, it'll make me put my guard back up. I won't necessarily stop talking to you, but I always just feel like it's so many bitches, especially in Atlanta. We live in Atlanta. We know how it is out here. So I just feel like if a nigga's not doing, paying attention to me, giving me the time, it's like, okay, you giving your time to somebody else.
Especially in the dating stage.
Right.
I think
Here's the thing. And I never really understood that. Listen, first of all, two things. Okay, let's cover the first point. If a man is displaying toxic behaviors, all right, why would you still be talking to that person? This goes back to the previous statement that I said, all right? Listen, a lot of you women, it's not like you don't know how to do this. Y'all know how to do this, all right? Because when it comes to planning for school, y'all got the FAFSA, the transcripts, all that stuff. Y'all got it down, even down to selecting the type of school that you want to go to. When it comes to a job, the exact same thing. Women out here have a plan of attack, and guess what? They are succeeding because the vast majority of education right now is overpopulated by women. Look at the graduation rates, especially black women, right? We want to go ahead and talk about, a level of education compared to black men. It's much higher. So you guys clearly have a plan of attack to do this. Why isn't it when it comes to a man, all of a sudden it's just, I don't know. I got low patience. I got this. I got that. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to do that. Right? Why is that the case? So I never really understood that, all right? And when she's talking about, the dating and trying to hold it down, and I'm glad Keisha kind of pressed them on this, but you got to, that's not all relationship is all about, all right? If you're dealing with a toxic dude and whatnot, you're trying to hold it down, why are you still dealing with this person? Like, you need to leave. You need to stop wasting your time immediately, because unlike men, you don't have that kind of time to be wasting with dudes that ain't shit. And on top of that, if you're still sleeping and seeing the dude, guess what? You're building an emotional attachment to him that makes it even more difficult to leave that man. And this is how most modern women get trapped in relationships. Not just being trapped in relationships they don't even want to be in, but giving their souls to other dudes, right, that don't deserve it, giving their wombs to other dudes that don't deserve it. And then when it blows up in their faces, they come out here into the dating market with all this baggage they've been dragging with them through relationship to relationship to relationship, hurting other dudes in the process and turn them into what their ex were. Y'all got to pay attention, because this is your doing and you have to understand how to undo it. And that's what I love about this conversation, because they actually get into the meat and potatoes.
Easy to be not interested anymore.
But I feel also it just depends on what type of man you're going for too. So therefore you have to hold yourself accountable for what type of guys you're going for. Because if you thinking already like that, like you going into a situation where you feel like, oh, he finna be cheating or he finna be fucking with somebody else, then that's not the one for you.
Right.
But what's your end goals? Like, what do y'all want to be? Do you guys want to be somebody's wife? What do you want to be?
Yeah, see, we talk about that all the time on the show. Sometimes I don't really know if I necessarily want to get married.
Do you want to have kids?
I do want to have kids, but I'm not sure if I want to get married.
So why do you, this is my question.
Okay.
Why, do you want to have kids?
Hell no! She always
say she don't want to have kids.
Nigga to drink. I got too much shit to do.
But why? Okay, so you don't want to have kids. So okay, you a different story. But you,
okay,
you want to have kids, but you don't know if you want to get married. So that means that you already gonna be. You're planning to already bring this child into and have a deficit in their life, right?
I mean, I feel like if I find the right person.
Backpedal alert here. Backpedal alert. Keisha just called her out on that, and that is true. It's true. I never understood why modern women are more comfortable having babies, right? A tougher commitment, by the way, right? Every average kid costs about $250,000 from birth to 18 years, including college costs and tuition and things like that, right? They're more comfortable with that versus actually having a man help them with that burden of dealing with the child. Listen, it's perfectly natural for mothers to want to take care of their kids, all right? It's perfectly normal to do that. But it's what's not normal is a mother trying to take care of her kids and also trying to fulfill a career or full-time career lifestyle. It's just not possible. You're going to end up giving your kids to somebody else to instill lessons in them rather than you, all right? So then you're having somebody else raise your kids, and you're not even being that personal because you have to go out and get the work. So what the fuck's the point of this whole thing? Some other woman is raising your kids right now. They're learning from another woman. And that's the culture we have nowadays. And y'all want to sit there and wonder why everyone's so dysfunctional. We got mothers who were more than willing out of selfish necessities, right? Not so much her, but the other one talking about I got my hookahs and drinks and whatnot. Listen, you're not ready for no kind of man. You just go sit on the sidelines, okay? You can watch the dudes and girls who want to get married from the sidelines, okay? You're out the game, all right? It's too late for you. But the other lady, why is it that it's so much easier to have a kid than have a family to help you, a man in that family to help you? It's crazy how more modern women today are more than welcome or more than happy growing up and being raised in broken homes than actually building a home together. All right, so if we're asking what you bring to the table and whatnot, if you do everything by yourself, including having, what's the point? What is the absolute point? It's crazy.
We could get married. Sometimes I don't really have a lot of faith in these niggas.
But do you have to find the right person to have the baby?
I do think I have to find the right person to have a kid, but I also feel like I'm in a position where I'm doing things for my own, so I would completely be okay with having to take on that responsibility by myself as far as financial shit go, if I have to.
I don't think
kids
it's okay.
are more than financial.
I don't think it's okay neither, but I feel like it's the reality of like the generation that we live in, because I just feel like that's how most of these niggas are. I do.
No, those are the niggas that you going after. You got to find somebody that's going to.
But I don't really be going after nobody. It be the people that be coming after me. I don't go. If we being honest,
that means you are toxic. That's exactly what it means. Listen, there are two types, men, ladies. I'm gonna break this down for you so you can understand how men date. All right, I want you guys to understand how most men date. Okay, we put women into two different categories. All right, and that's hoeing and wifing material. Okay, and we subconsciously, for most men, we also make these decisions. All right, and the first and foremost thing, it comes down to how you look. All right, if she's presenting herself as a modest woman, kind of like light-skinned Keisha over here. All right, not trying to do too much, but very modest. Right, if she presents herself like that. And the thing she's not having these raptor claws or these crazy ass weaves that that don't even belong to you, all this stuff like you're putting together in a way where you're not seeking male attention in a thirsty way. All right, we put you in the wifey category. That's where you go, and we actually come at you a lot different. You ask the women who are either engaged or women who are actually wives right now. Okay, they were wives before the men met them. All right, that's why he who finds a wife finds a good thing, but you got to find a wife. And when you find a wife, she's got to be a wife first. You see what I mean? And most modern women, they're not wives right now. They're not. They're all thoughts. Not all of them. I said most. All right? They're mostly thoughts right now because there's a thought culture going on. So when you present yourself as a wife, a man is gonna approach you as such. He's not gonna be as forward. He's not gonna be as treating you with a whole lot of disrespect. Matter of fact, there's gonna be a whole lot of respect coming in. We put you in the hoe category, all right? You just out here hoeing and thotting it up and shit. Guess what? We're gonna approach you, but it's not gonna be that with that whole that kind of respect. Okay, we're gonna approach you with the intent to have sex with you. Now, here's the problem where that comes in. A lot of hoes are these modern women who think that they're wife material, but they're really acting like thoughts. All right, what you guys don't understand, you guys think that giving sexual attention to a guy is the same as relationship attention, right? And that's why you guys can't keep a man, because you think just having sex with them keeps him. That's not how it works. So if your DM is filled with guys who ain't shit, and then all they're just trying to do is lay up with you and do all that stuff, it's because you, all right, nobody else, you are putting that kind of energy out there, and that's how guys are coming at you. Listen, if you got an IG and all I see is ass and titties, and there's nothing else, no picture with you and your families, no picture with you doing nothing else but out here on beaches and restaurants and all this stuff like that, I'ma just assume that's what you are. You just want these IG model thoughts, and I will approach you as such. I will slide in your DMs as such. You call a spade a spade. Listen, if you dress like a monkey, act like a monkey, eat like a monkey, talk like a monkey, guess what? I'm gonna treat you as a walking, talking, eating, driving monkey. That's basically how it is. Versus you approach yourself like a wife. You approach yourself as a respectable woman. You approach yourself as someone who's got some goddamn sense and has more to offer than a goddamn box. I'ma come at you differently. I'm gonna come at you with my intellect, not my second head. That's how this shit works. But for some reason, a lot of modern women, they've tied their sexual abilities towards relationship power, and they're finding it more and more, especially as we go on in this day and age, it's blowing up in their faces because that's not how this shit works.
I don't go chase these niggas. You be the niggas that be trying to talk to me.
Well, not necessarily go after, but I'm saying like these. Obviously, if you're giving your attention to these people, then you know what I'm saying. That's what's going. But I just feel like women, we have to take accountability as far as like where we're giving our attention to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The type of man that we're giving our attention to.
I
but
agree.
I want marriage to be a thing again. You know, I want women to feel like they should be able to get married because y'all deserve that. Why not? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I want to.
I'm gonna disagree with you, light skin Keisha. Okay, not all women deserve marriage, especially the one talking about like hookah and whatnot. What's she gonna bring to a man? What are you gonna bring? Hookah and drinking and whatnot? No. A man wants a family, a man wants marriage, and he wants a legacy. All right. If you out here just worried about hookah and smoking, not every woman deserves marriage. Okay, so I'm gonna disagree with you on that because a lot of modern women, they're not taught to be wives. All right, that's a big problem that we're dealing with right now. A lot of women are taught to be great value dudes. That's what a lot of women are being taught right now. They're taught to be lesser males. All right, they're even down to their dating strategies. They're acting out here dating like men, planning out everything out like you think you have time like a guy does. All right, you don't. Women, what you have to get through your head, all right, you have a shorter time frame in your life, and that's between really right when you're 18 and right when you're 25. That is the right time where you have to get your life in order and you have to work towards it. Your time frame is shorter. You only have a little bit to get it right, and then it's over with, because by the time you hit 25 and up, it's a wrap, dog, because you're already set in your ways. And men like to have women who are willing to be able to cooperate and be able to work with the man, right? And most women by that time, they done already been through the whole school, they done already rode the carousel, and now they out here dealing with multiple men on the dating markets, accumulating the baggage. By the time they get to you, they're all toxic. Talking about hookah, smoking, and drinking. So not all women deserve marriage. Some of them do, but as long as they make themselves wife, but not all women deserve marriage. I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Be a thing again too. I talk about it all the time on the show, how I grew up in a 2-parent household. My parents were married my whole life, but I just feel like niggas don't be built like how my daddy was no more. They really don't.
I feel you, but there are some dudes out there that's built like that, and it's gonna take.
No, because you're not looking for niggas like your daddy. Just be honest. Chances are you're not even bringing the niggas you're dealing with home to your daddy to vet him if he's like him. That's the problem. You guys aren't doing it. Y'all modern women out here thinking you can do this by yourself, but you can't. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. The whole reason for community, the whole reason for a family is for you guys to be able to build together. That's how this shit's supposed to work. All right? You're supposed to bring the man home so your dad can look at him and say, okay, this dude is a fuckboy. That's what he is, all right? He's on some bullshit. He's on here playing games. He's not the right man for you. And then you go move around and go find somebody else who's not going to waste your time. But no, a lot of times y'all out here in your new dating strategy, right? For a lot of modern women, the new dating strategy is to find what tickles your little pickle. That's literally what it is. If it tickles your pickle, he's got the jawline, he's 6 tall, he's making baller stacks, right? All that stuff fits in. But in reality, where's the character? Where's all that? It's gone. It's not there. It's not existent. So then when you find yourself sitting alone because you've been ghosted or it blew up in your face, right? You can't blame anybody but yourself because you decided to take this alone. You chose this man based off of things that aren't even serious, these surface level attraction measures. And that's the problem that's hurting a lot of modern women. Stop looking at the surface level measuring stick to determine what a man's gonna be. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, especially today, social media, it's so easy for a guy to fake. It's not even funny, all right? You got 2 kinds of fakers, all right? You got the fakers who don't really got money, all right? And they just go out there and pretend they do. Maybe their house is rented, or maybe the car's rented, or maybe something about their lifestyle isn't genuine, right? And you get attracted to this guy believing that that's what it is, but it's really not who he is. He's been fronting this entire time. And when it finally blows up in your face, oh, these niggas broke. Oh, these niggas ain't got shit. Oh, these niggas this, and that. That's the complaint you hear. And then the second kind of fake guys are probably guys who have it, right? Who have all the stuff and things like that. But what they try to do, and maybe they don't, but the main crux of these guys is they future fake. All right. Now, what's a future fake? Future fake is when you get around these guys, right, and they promise you the world. They're like a whole nother Romeo, all right? And these are the majority of the time the kind of toxic guys a lot of these girls deal with, right? They're future fakers, all right? They pretend pretend that they want to have a future with you. They pretend that, oh, I want to have babies. I want to take care of you. I'm gonna do all this, and come to find out, the same kind of dudes are either married or got a whole another family right out there, and they just duped you into having you buy into their world. So that's a lot of pitfalls that face a lot of modern women out here when it comes to men. We call men out on the show too, all right? Because men are liars. Most men are. They are some bullshit. But I'm gonna tell you this: most men are liars and on some bullshit as a reaction to the new female dating market and new female dating strategies, all right? Because of what you guys are looking for, you guys are looking for all the surface level things. You're pushing guys to pretend to be something that they're not right before they meet with you. And when they finally get with you and realize, oh, the box ain't worth the squeeze, guess what? Gone. It's over with. Or you run into one of these two mofos and then boom, it's gone. Over with. And then you're sitting here talking about, I can't find the right man. All these men hit my DMs. They just want one thing. Yes, that's right, because you attract them. So keep that in mind, ladies. You are what it is that you attract.
Time, but
you can find one.
But time is kind of ticking.
Mm-hmm.
It just be crazy because me being a single woman, literally, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like half the men that are in my DMs be married. Yeah. So I'll be like, is this what I have to look forward to? Like,
so let me ask you something. Do you think that all men cheat?
I do.
We both do.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're tainted. We are. This is a counseling session.
It is.
We are tainted.
All men.
The fact that you think all men cheat is the big problem. It's just the men that you're dealing with. Listen, men have the option to cheat. None mean that all men cheat. It's just the low value dudes that you're dealing with, or the dudes that actually have options that would cheat. And real talk, a man who has options, that has a woman who knows how to hold it down, and by hold it down, it's not like dealing with the toxic issues and whatnot. No, but she makes herself indispensable in the relationship. A guy's more likely gonna come home to that than dealing with any of these random broads and the problems that could come with that. That's one thing a lot of you all don't understand, but you've forgotten how to be women. All you think when being a woman is giving a box and maybe cooking and cleaning, and most of y'all don't even know how to do that. So when you're talking about, and here's the thing, when she talks about married men, right? You want to know the main reason why married men go for women like you and they're in your DMs all the time? I'm gonna tell you this right now. There's a big reason why. It's because married men already have their commitments, all right? And when they're coming to you, they're coming to you for a side chick. And do you know why they're looking for a side chick? Because you give off major side chick energy. The both of y'all ladies out there right now, y'all both giving up side chick energy. Real talk, you guys are giving up the impression that you're not wife material. Look at old girl with the raptor claws and lashes talking about hookah, smoking, drinking. If I would have walked in and seen her, it's like, all right, we're gonna have fun, but that's pretty much the best thing. All right, you look like a fun girl. And guess what? Fun girls don't get wiped up. It's just the law of the land. Welcome to the fucking patriarchy, dog. It's how we do shit around here. You either get with the program of how men thinks, or you die alone and stay single. It's how the world works. The fact that people are having this confused right now, and you got role models out large, right? And these very same role models, the Cardi B's, the Meg Thee Stallions, who are promoting these cultures, they're over here finding themselves their men because they understand this. But to sell you a dream, they're gonna tell you that this is what out here. So let me just let you know right now, the main reason why married men go for girls like you and they're in your DM is because when they look at your Instagram, before they slide in, they say, okay, this girl already knows what the game is. Let me slide in here and shoot my shot. That's it. That's literally it. They're not going to come to you for a relationship or anything more than that. They're probably not even tell you that they're married, okay? And then what you'll probably get is some of these future fakers out here that would say, okay, I'm married and whatnot, but I'm going to dump my wife and I'm going to come be with you because you're the only one. And it turns out that they're not doing that. Derek Jackson, yeah, you. I'm talking to you, Derek Jackson. All right, you little fraudster over here. All right, we already know what the kind of game you on about, you future fake. But that's basically what it is. So when women don't understand what's going on, that's what's happening. When a married man is hitting you up, a man who already has commitments, right? It means he's seeing you as major side chick material, someone who's not gonna mess the game up. Because I'm gonna tell you this, men are less likely to leave their marriage with the whole divorce and whatnot, because it's really just expensive, right? It's cheaper to just keep her around, right? They're not gonna leave that situation and just all of a sudden be with you. Men don't break up their homes like that, all right? They think logically first before they do something like that. That means the woman has to be like batshit motherfucking crazy for the dude just be like, I'm out, right? But typically, most of the time, men don't leave their marriages. You know, they just, if there are problems in there, they'll go look for side pieces like you. That's just how this shit works.
Cheat.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that
you
right now.
You want a shot here? Yes. Pop down!
All men don't cheat.
Okay, I will say this. I have been in situations
But do you
where
feel like all men have cheated? Because that's what I mean when I say
this is what
cheaters.
I'm gonna say. Like, this is what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
When you find like, okay, so do I feel like all men have cheated probably prior into like in their early relationships?
Yeah.
Maybe.
While she gets that point across, I want you guys to put in the chat right now in the comment section, man and woman. How many have you guys ever cheated? If so, how many times have you cheated on a partner? All right, I'll start. All right, I've never cheated on anybody I've been in a relationship. It sounds crazy, but I've not. I would much rather just dump you and move the fuck along than just to sit there and go back and forth. The only other time there I would actually consider it cheating, which it was not, well, at least in my mind, I didn't think it was when I was dating two girls at the same time. But I was back in high school. All right, and when one found out about the other, I mean, it was a wrap for me at that point. But that in my mind at that time, you know, being younger, and goes to what light-skinned Keisha was talking about, in the younger days, maybe that could have been misconstrued as cheating. But what I can remember in most of my relationships is that when I would get into it, especially in my younger days, I would get into it a little bit more dedicated, because to me, I took commitment seriously. If I don't want to commit, I'm not the guy that's going to do so, and there's no way you can do anything or say anything that's going to change me out of that mindset. But if I find a woman that I'm like, okay, she's bad enough, and she can put things together in a way where I can still be interested in her, then she's someone I'm going to take seriously, and I'm going to put everything into it. Guys like me, we're not afraid of commitment, and we're not going to sit there and just go cheat on somebody else and give them that terrible feeling, right? Just because, you know, we have the option to do so. Just because we have the option to do so. And let me get you this. When I was married, even when I was in relationships, boyfriend and girlfriend status, I would get played. Tons of play, and I would have to fight them off. Matter of fact, it was to the point where it was a point of contention in most of my relationships where I'd just talk to people and girls would approach me, and it'd be a situation where my significant other either wouldn't like it or would be very, very, I wouldn't say embarrassed, but what's the word I'm looking for? They'll feel very insecure about that situation, right? Because then then what happens is they start to accuse you of cheating even though you're not doing anything, or they'll accuse you of saying that, oh, you're doing this, and they start monitoring your movements and trying to get in your phone, and that's when all the mistrust start to happen. But that's when the insecurities really show. But other than that, most men don't cheat, man. Most men are actually loyal. All right, there's a reason why we're called dogs, because dogs are loyal, cats are not.
No, I can't speak for all men in all relationships.
Right.
I can only speak on the experiences that I've been through. But I will say this, like, the relationship that I'm in now, our problems are not infidelity.
I like how they
our problems are not
you
are not. It's not about who DMs you in and who's in your DMs and da 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 da. We don't have those problems. Our problems is you were supposed to upload that content, or we were supposed to get work. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's our problems. But that's because we understand each other, and I feel like, but the problem is nowadays, though, a lot of girls don't even get to know these guys that they're trying to pursue either. So it's both on both ends. Like, nobody's trying to really get to know each other. Everybody just kind of dating people for what they see and what they got.
Right.
Me and my boyfriend, we were best friends, and honestly, we didn't even like each other. Like, never even.
So how long were
imagined.
y'all friends before y'all started dating?
We probably been friends maybe like 7 years or so, 7 to 8 years.
Wow, yeah.
7 to 8 years. I met him maybe in like 2012, honestly. So realistically, like, honestly, almost about 10 years.
Right, y'all were friends for a while.
Yeah, we've been friends for a while, so that's what I'm saying. So it's like, but we don't look at it as like, he knows, like, okay, say this, like, if one of us hurt each other, it's not hurting our boyfriend or girlfriend. We hurting our dog. Like, you know, that's my partner. Like, you know, like, that's my best friend, which is.
See, I agree with that 100%. I'm actually glad she brought that up, because that's a very interesting point. And it goes to what I've been saying, man. Like, people, when they get into these relationships, it's hookup culture nowadays. Hookup culture is winning. So it's fuck first and then get to know you later. But the get to know you part doesn't really come in, all right? Because here's the thing, ladies, and here's what now you're understanding. You guys think it's controlling when when your dad say don't have sex with a guy if you're not serious about him, or don't even have sex if they're not thinking about a long-term relationship with you, or at least showing you that they're in it for the long haul, right? The reason why we tell you that is because women, when you let somebody enter your body, you become emotionally attached to it. Listen, I'm talking from experience here. I can't tell you how many women I say up front that I deal with, I'm not looking for anything serious, all right? And they will match my energy, say, hey, look, I'm just out here trying to live my life and do my thing. I'm not looking for a boyfriend or anything later. And then come to find out 3 months after off and on, off again, whatever it is, right? We're doing, all of a sudden it's like, they start catching feelings, like, what are we? And they start getting jealous of who else you're seeing, or asking you questions about other people you're seeing and things like that. That's when it gets crazy. Why? Because then they're starting to catch feelings with you. The more frequent they have sex with you, the more feelings they catch. So you got to understand, I like what light-skinned Keisha was talking about, because it goes to the big point when we talk about dating, right? And part of the reason why I think dating is pointless, right? And this is where I agree and also disagree with Kevin Samuels. I agree with where, you're saying dating is pointless, but I disagree with the whole 6-month thing before you get to know them, except only if that person has experience previously with marriage, all right, and the other person they're dealing with has experience with that same thing. So if you're both coming from a divorce situation, right, and it's perfectly okay to meet each other within 6 months and get your things going, right, because then that person, both households are coming from a situation where they have been in committed relationships, in serious committed relationship governed by the states. So chances are they're going to be more than likely to have that situation too as well. So you guys can bond on that note. But if you're just meeting someone, you don't have experience in being in a long-term relationship, they don't have experience of dealing with a long-term partner, that's not something that you just want to come together and hook up in 6 months and think it's going to work out for you. It's not, because there's the work involved. At least those divorced couples out there, they understand what work is involved in getting married, but it just didn't work out along the way. Something happened, right? Things changed. That's fine. But they understand the work involved. That's why for some of you ladies out here who are single and who are trying to find a man or trying to find someone who's going to be committed to you, go find a person who was divorced. Real talk. Go find a man who's recently divorced. All right. Go find a man who because that shows you that, hey, he's not afraid of commitment. And obviously, find out the reason why he was divorced. Make sure he wasn't wilding out or whatnot in the relationship. But typically, that's the kind of guy that's gonna be able to offer you that and isn't afraid to get back into a relationship as long as he can find a healthy woman to deal with. All right. That's the situation. The same thing for you. Men out there, you're looking for a woman that understands the value of a relationship and understands the work involved in a relationship. Go find a woman who was divorced. Obviously, vet the reason why she got divorced, and she wasn't, marrying guys for sport or whatever the fuck, right? She was actually, the situation didn't work out. Maybe, her partner walked out, or she caught him with another guy, or something like that, or the feelings was just different. However it is, though, you want to be with people who are understanding what work goes into being married. You got to understand that, or being in a long-term relationship. If you guys just met each other, the best person for you is your best friend. Is that person that you put in a friend zone, ladies. All right, that's the best person that's probably gonna be there for you. And I know in the manosphere space, we tend to call these guys, simps, and oh, you let yourself get friend zoned, and rightfully so. They do deserve that label. Listen, if you're gonna waste your time with a woman that doesn't want you, you're a loser. I'm sorry, you're a loser. You need to move on to something else because you're wasting your time. The precious resource, the precious and only resource that you have, you're wasting on someone that doesn't want to be with you. So you need to leave that situation. However, the fact that they're still there in the friend zone mean that they are dedicated to you. And typically what a lot of ladies don't understand, it'd be your male best friends that be the ones who really want to hold it down and be with you. And not only that, those relationships actually end up working out well because before you guys started fucking, you guys were friends. You guys understood each other's feelings. You guys understood each other's nature. You guys were able to talk. The talking that women like to do all the time. You guys were able to do that with your male friends, all right, without the advent of him trying to get at the box or whatever it is, all right? You guys were able to understand each other and know each other on a different level before y'all got to the point where you got sexual. And when you got sexual, it just adds to the benefit of everything that you've built up before because there was already a solid foundation there. Some of y'all going out here and dating guys randomly you don't know, getting flown out to different spots and be surprised when they get dropped, right? You're dealing with total strangers. Like I said before, this dating thing used to be freaking easy. I don't know how we all overcomplicate this thing, but this used to be very much easy. You find somebody in your community, all right? He's already been pre-vetted because everyone in the community knows about this dude. They know about what his whereabouts is, all right? You date him for a few days or a few months or whatever. You bring him home to the folks, right? Because that's what we used to do. Remember that? There's a whole saying, bring him to the folks. Like, the reason why you do that is so the folks can see if this man is about his shit or is he one of these future fuckboys out here. That's the thing. But we stopped doing that and put the burden as women, right? You want to take more and more and more of that burden. And guess what? You can't just take on the burden without the responsibility of it. So meaning, if you're going to take more of the responsibility of getting the man by yourself without the help of your father, without the help of your family, your community, you have to shoulder the responsibility of what comes out of it. All right. And typically what comes out of that is an ill properly vet dude that plays you. That's just literally how it is.
So it's a different type of situation, but you gotta get to know these people.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that a lot of women or men be getting to really know, like, okay, well, what's your flaws, or what are you damaged by? You know, like, why you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Why do you think that all men cheat?
Well, we do say, like, the type of men that you're supposed to date, like, you supposed to date somebody that has ambition, that can do stuff for you, but a lot of things get misconstrued on this podcast, because a lot of times people think we're saying, like, you're supposed to have, everything needs to be transactional, and we do not condone that.
We don't subscribe
like,
to that.
because a lot of women nowadays want, like, transactional things, like, you have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and it's
to
like,
fuck with me.
Right.
And if you're not doing it, I'm not gonna fuck with you.
Right. So I feel like a lot of times, you know, women go into relationships and they need somebody to, like, take care of them. They're looking for somebody to save them.
Yeah, and then what are you doing in return?
Right.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
What type of woman are you? I want to know. Like, what you would do if you're in a relationship. Like, what you do?
What you mean?
Like, what can you bring to the table?
I feel like I make my own money. I'm bossing up. Like, I got my own shit going on. That's what I can bring to the table. Plus, I'm a loving person. I'm gonna take care of the household. I'm gonna make sure shit's straight in the house. Absolutely.
Do you suck dick? Do you suck dick good?
I do
have
suck
good
dick
pussy?
good. I won a dick sucking contest a few years ago.
#1 head doctor.
Not a dick sucking.
We got video footage.
Well, she got proof.
It was a deal though. It wasn't a real dick.
Okay.
It was
Now, me on the
You want to know I know light-skinned Keisha's a real one, all right? You see her reaction when she was like, you want a dick-sucking contest? She was like, what? That face like, girl, you did not just say that. You did not just do that. She genuinely, that look on her face, she was genuinely embarrassed for that young lady until she said it was a dildo. And it's like, all right, so you're not just out here sucking off dudes and shit. Okay, I get it, all right? But that's a huge point, right? If you, most women, you like this lady over here, right? You're talking about I bring my schooling and I bring my work and education, right? That's what most women talk about. When I talk about great value women, this is what I'm talking about. This is these crazy damn value things that men don't even care about. We don't care about your money because, real talk, your friend just said it. Most girls are looking for guys who can take care of it. So why the fuck does your money matter? Why do you think that's something that you're gonna bring to the table if we're not even gonna eat off of it? That doesn't make any sense, because everything that I have on the table, we feasting. That's for everybody. But then when you bring your education and you bring your work and whatnot, I can't even feast, right? Or I get to have an appetizer. Is that what it is? I get a little appetizer off that table? Come on, man. I think this goes down to a discussion that we really need to have, because this is one of the main problems that's affecting dating right now, all right? And the big discussion needs to have is we need to quantify the value, all right, of what not only men bring to the table, and we already kind of know the value of what men bring to the table, because men, we hold each other all the time accountable, right? And we also check each other. When men wild out and say different things, we're quick to check them, right? The thing is, women, they don't even quantify what their value is that they bring to the table, right? If you were to put a monetary value on it, right, a woman would say, okay, well, you know, cooking and cleaning, all these other minute stuff, right? Buying curtains and make sure the house looks good. That's equivalent to you taking care of every single bill. It's like, no. You got to do a lot more than cook and clean. You got to do a lot more than selecting curtain rods and whatever it is. You have to understand how to build a home, and that's more than just the materialistic things, okay? That's understanding how to take care of your children, understanding how to wake up with nothing but love and admiration for the man that's out here making things happen, and showing that love and support by inserting yourself into the situation and making yourself an indispensable force that is helping him on the back end in deficiencies that he lacks. That's the thing. I tell you all the time, man, I'm around a lot of rich couples all the time. And what I see in this situation is the guy, because think about it, the higher you go up in income level, that's when you see that kind of social dynamic where the man works and the woman kind of just sits there and build a home. But what I see in these dynamics is not only the woman building the home, taking care of the kids and making sure everything is good to go, she's also taking care of the man's social life too as well. She's out here going around setting up stuff with the neighbors, you know, setting up meetings, meet and greets and things like that to make sure that when the man comes home, not only is he the home taken care of, but then she's also making sure that he's in good with everyone in the community, because she understands the social dynamic of things. So that both goes towards elevating their status in that set community. And that's what a lot of times women don't understand. You need to learn how to quantify the amount of value that you bring to a table, all right? Because otherwise you're just coming out here saying, you know what, I'm here, I got the car keys, I got all this stuff. Well, what is it worth when it comes to a man? Because a man could do everything that you say you can do, minus the child rearing and the child raising. Even that, we're starting to catch up on that. You see what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind.
I'm gonna order your hookah. How you want your steak cooked? You want me to make dinner? I'm gonna make a reservation. Okay, no, wait now. Wait, calm down. Because I feel like a lot of times in relationships, you know what? You want somebody to clean, I'm gonna call the maid. You want somebody to cook, I'm gonna call the chef. But you need somebody to talk to, I'm that girl.
So you a listening ear.
I'm a listening ear, but I am a good friend. Like, honestly, because
I got my homeboys for that. Like, I don't need you for that. Like, if you need to cook and you can hire a maid. If you need to clean, you can hire a maid. Or I'm sorry, if you need to cook, you can make reservations. If you need to clean, you can hire a maid, right? Wow, then what's the point if that's the only two things that you're saying you could bring to the table, and then even that you're thinking about exporting that to contractors? That's essentially what you're doing. Then why does a man need you, right? Because he can do the exact same thing. He can order DoorDash, he can hire a maid on demand, and on top of that, he can go to his homies to help him understand and deal with his problems better than you can. And when a lot of times when a woman talks about I'm a listening ear, she's not talking about listening to your problems. She's talking about a listening ear so you can sit down and listen to my problems, because I ain't here to listen to your problems. We already know most women, they can't handle or shoulder a man's problems. It's evident them going out into the real world and dealing with the shit, because yes, ladies, men deal with the real world all the time. And guess what? As you guys are starting to find out right now, it's a lot of fucking responsibility that comes with it. And guess what? It's making a lot of y'all miserable. So if you're saying the best thing that you bring to a table, you can also outsource to contractors to come in and do it, a man doesn't need you. A man doesn't need you. You're better off just being by yourself. Because what's the freaking point? And this is what a lot of women don't get. You're setting yourself up to basically fail.
You know how I am.
So you feel like that's what you bring to the relationship?
Yes,
you a good
because
friend
it's more,
to your
the
nigga.
money, who cares about money? Like,
okay.
Whatever. The money coming in, like, all that stuff is superficial.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, you can
Said
make
the
some
one
pasta.
going out
like,
to Cabo
there's a lot
with
of
a
bitches
big
out here
baby
cooking,
daddy.
but they don't make good partners. And a lot of men, that's what they do. They want to be like, oh, can you cook? Can you clean? Okay, but what else?
Right.
There's more to being a woman than that. And I feel like that's what people have watered being a...
Like what? Like what? You can't even explain that. You asked the other lady, asked your friend, she asked her, what is it? She talk about, I got my own money, I can cook, I can clean. That's it. You guys are bringing that up. And even the stuff that you're supposed to do, you guys aren't even doing that. Right? And then that's another thing they like to bring up is, we have babies. We tend to have babies. Look at the birth rates for every single demographic of women. It is going into the toilet, except for Hispanics, right? And that's the thing y'all don't understand. So even the jobs you guys claim you guys are doing that's supposed to be yours, you're not even doing it. This is the problem. What else does a woman have to offer? You guys don't even know what else you have to offer besides the box. It's crazy.
Good woman down to is cooking and cleaning. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like this. No, I definitely agree. But I also feel like this when women are constantly like, oh, you got to give me something. You got to give those type of women. It's
right.
also like, okay, well, what can you bring to the table?
Right.
Because if you not like a lot of women, like say for instance, we can get to the whole bills thing. Mm-hmm. Do you think that a man should pay all your bills?
Not if you...
Are we living together or are we not together?
If y'all living together, you think you should pay your bills?
I think that he should be taking care of like the rent, mortgage, and I'll take care of the small shit. That's what I think is fair. That's how I've done in my past for situations. Because I've lived with a man before. Okay. So he was taking care of the things and I was doing the smaller shit.
I do feel that way. I'm not gonna lie.
What? You feel like he should take all our bills?
Yeah, because if not, then I could just live by myself like I'm already doing.
Yeah, but you gonna set yourself up to get kicked out too.
Oh, what you mean?
Keisha.
How?
Because I feel like this. I don't believe that.
Okay, what do you think? So you think
I
you
think
should
that
split
I feel like whatever works for your. First of all, let me say this because I know that they might get this misconstrued. Whatever works for you works for you. But there's a lot of women that are missing the point stuff here. At the end of the day, if you live with a man, that's okay, right? But if you're putting all this responsibility, it's so many women that's like, oh yeah, he should pay all the bills. Okay, so what are you doing? So that's when it comes into, okay, well, what are you doing for him? Oh, I can. Even the basic factors are cooking, cleaning, taking care of the household, right? Mm-hmm. Or taking care of the kids or whatever the case may be. But then you have all these women talking about they got their hand out, but baby, you don't even know how to cook. Right. And even if you do know how to cook, your food is nasty. That's why he going to his side bitch getting the other meal.
I'm not gonna lie, niggas' ankles be swollen a little bit after I finish cooking.
But I'm saying, but no, I'm not saying. saying, but if you're willing to learn how to cook, then okay. But I'm saying, but you don't think that all men should pay all the bills.
But I will say, because the responsibility of running a household, especially when you're dealing with a BDB, that's a lot. So you gotta run the household.
She lying. She do feel like niggas is supposed to pay all the bills.
No, I said he's supposed to pay, like, because honestly, that mortgage, that rent, that shit a lot. You supposed to pay the big bills, but like the little stuff.
And I thought you were independent. I thought you can do bad by yourself. See, this is the quagmire of the modern women right now. Okay, you guys gotta understand this. All right, they expect you as a man to have your shit in order so they can move in and help you do nothing. That's pretty much it. All right, listen. If he's having him take care of the big bills and you're just talking about the little cell phone bills and little internet bills and whatnot, that's not equal in value. All right, because now if you're just gonna be taking care of the little bills, you have to bring much more to equate to the. Like I said, if we assign a monetary value to it, right? You already down here talking about you taking care of less the mini bills, right? And he's already up here in terms of what he's bringing to the table in terms of taking care of all the big bills, right? So then, what are you gonna do here from this point, starting blow point that you are right now, to help raise yourself to this exact same level where you're indispensable from the situation? Like Light King Keisha said, if you're just doing this and he's up here doing this, you can clearly see the imbalance and you're setting yourself up to be kicked out of the house like most modern women nowadays. That's how this shit works. So when you sitting there, you got your hand all out talking about what you gonna do for me. A man is supposed to provide and protect me, and you're just sitting here doing nothing in return. Well, guess what? This is why you're single, because you're not adding to the value to make yourself indispensable in that relationship. So if he's up here doing all this and you're down here, you're no different from any other low value broad that's still in this space that expect that same handout. That's it. You're gonna get kicked to the curb and he's gonna find another one. All right, and if she offers the exact same thing, she gets kicked to the curb and there's another one. All right, and this one, maybe she does take care of the little bills, but then she makes sure that when he comes home, he has his peace. There's dinner made. There's all these other stuff that she's doing, that she's putting together, that he knows that he can't miss and that he can't live without. So when he goes out there and he gets tempted, right, he knows, I got a good one back home, man. I'm not even gonna waste my time. I'm not, because I know that if she walks out, if she leaves, man, that's gonna be a hole that's missing. All right, right now the only hole they're gonna be missing from you broads is the box. That's it. Other than that, that's pretty much. Listen, I talk to a lot of guys, man, especially young guys who are in toxic relationships or got out of toxic relationships, and I always ask them, why are you still here? You already know what the decision you need to make is for your personal mental self-preservation here. You already know what decision you need to make, and that's booking out the door. So why are you still here? Be honest. And sometimes, you know, if they're still clouded, they'll tell you, oh well, I love her, I really care about her, I think she's amazing, she just has her off time sometimes and she can do better, things like that, right? And then you come to ask them after the relationship and you're like, dude, what is it that you miss? Like, oh man, that bro was crazy, I couldn't even deal with it. And then you talk to him about it, you say, you know what, I bet it was the sex, wasn't it? Right? It was a sex. While you were in a relationship, you were afraid to leave because of the lack of sexual access you thought you were going to be missing out on if you left her, or if, you know, she left you. That's why you sit there and tolerate all the bullshit. But now you're out of that situation, all right? And now you built thick discipline, and you can see clearly now the fact she's gone. You can see her for the crazy nonsense and the garbage that she's been putting you through. All right, that's what a lot of guys got to start thinking about and understanding. You start vetting these girls properly. All right, she has to be a wife first before she comes up to this level. Ladies, all right, you got to do more than just taking care of the little bills. All right, you got to do more than that. You got to start figuring out how to make yourself an indispensable asset to this man. That way, when he goes out, you don't even have to worry about him cheating. You don't have to worry about all that, because you know he's loyal to you and what you got to offer. That's it. A lot of you ladies out here, y'all thinking backwards. You're going through this whole mess backwards, and that is completely wrong. All right, so with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and end it right here, but I appreciate you guys, real talk, for being here. I appreciate you guys for sticking to the end of this, and let me know what you guys think. What is it, man? Should guys be 100% responsible for everything in a woman's life? It could be a woman he's just seeing or a woman that he's actually dating. Should he be responsible for that, or should it be a 50-50 situation until you get wifed up? And then if they do get wifed up, what should be the woman's continual responsibilities to take on in that relationship? Let me hear all that in the chat. Let me know that in the comment section after this video, all right? But with with that being said, thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.